This year, we've been covering all these huge catalog sales. We recently hit Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Justin Bieber, and they were all estimated to have their catalog sales around 200 million. So now you got Katy Perry coming on in at 225.
That's a lot of
That's a
money.
lot of money. And this was for her 5 albums, which spanned from 2008 to 2020, which included her albums, Teenage Dream, Smile. What was that one that I really loved? Prism. Prism
Prism.
was, yes, yes, yes. So, anyway, it's just another conglomerate of investors who get together and they invest through, one of these
Yeah.
joint ventures, and then they go and purchase the music. And the idea is that the music will continue to be popular and make money till the end of time.
Carlisle's global credit platform is backing Litmus Music for it. And it's crazy because this 225 million sale for it is putting her estimated worth at 340 million, making her one of the richest self-made women in America, according to Forbes. Now, she would have made the 2023 list, but that already came out like a couple months ago. So she's definitely in running to make the Forbes list for 2024 with this sale. And she's right up there with like Taylor Swift's now and Rihanna's, with just her money is just insane.
It's funny, I was kind of surprised by that. I'm like, with the American Idol and everything that she does. No, I
She had a
mean,
residency at
yeah, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars is not chump change, but you just compare it to, like, the Kardashians, and they're in the billions of dollars. So I don't know. My ability to gauge how much money all this
yeah.
is not fantastic anyway. But obviously she should be up there with all the giants and the musicians and all the things. So as far as what was sold, it's when we say catalog, we're talking about her publishing rights, which she would have had anyway, because as you know, you sign with a label, the label owns the masters, which are the recorded version of the music. Now, sometimes the artist, and in this case, Katy did in fact have some rights in her masters, not all.
Right.
So anyway, all those rights were acquired by Litmus Music. And so, from here, it's done. Her music is no longer hers. And so that's the only kind of like side note that I'll make on this. I go, well, it's the same thing as being with the major labels because they own your music anyway. Right. So it's not like you have a say in it. So is this any different? Is it worse that it's not an actual music agency? And, not to say that they're not a music agency, but it's not the same as like a label who has a little more, pull with radio and
they're a newer group. They acquired their first catalog last year with Keith Urban's music, and then some Benny Bianco's, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and Camila Cabello's songs like that he produced. They're just getting into the game, but I mean, this thing can be hugely lucrative, and I get so excited when these artists can get to cash out, as it were, like while they're still young, while they're still active making music. Because I mean, it's 5 records, you know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of things, that's really not that much. She could have another 10 records in her, but she has a great jump off point to where when all of her contracts are up, she could just fund herself essentially and just literally do anything that she wants. And with that power, I mean, her last record came out in 2020, which was The Smile. She's had just an incredible career. Her hits are insane. The California Girls, E.T., Firework, Kissed a Girl. Like, she's out of control with hits. The what was that one she did with Migos that I really liked a lot? Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
I like that song. She had like the other video with the backpack kid with the thing. She had the sharks. People like her, man. People like Katy Perry, and good for her. But yeah, this is the big goal.
Was it that music video that made that style of dancing with that little boy when he was doing the straight arm thing? Was that what started that trend?
I don't remember what started. I just remember, I'm just trying to remember all the little tidbits of Katy Perry knowledge that I have. But I mean, I remember Katy Perry when she was dating that, Gym Class Heroes dude, like way back in the day when she first came out, when she was doing like Warped Tour and all that stuff before she became Katy Perry, as it were. But
well, I remember in that music video, she was rocking her short hair, and that kind of era for her, because we kind of talked about it with Doja Cat and how at the end of last year she shaved her head.
Oh
and
yeah,
lately, backlash. I mean, Katy Perry, I can imagine probably had a similar experience.
Yeah, I mean, well, going from the pinup to when she kind of just cut that super short and dyed it blonde, like it was a drastic change, and people don't like change, and people like to have comments and such. But I don't know. like really good. I think this is the goal for any artist. I think that's why it's important to make sure that you're negotiating your deals, especially as you start to get clout before you sign any labels. You know what I mean? Any label deals, you should have already built up your clout, so you're not just desperate for anything. So you can kind of control things more from the beginning, and just more reason to own your own rights. And good for Katy Perry. And I remember seeing her on the Howard Stern show when she did the "I Kissed a Girl" acoustically, and I wasn't really that into her, but I liked her version of it acoustically, and I was like, oh, like, wow, she's pretty good. Like she's a lot of fun. So good for Katy Perry.
Hey.